Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today I'm putting on a full face of products that YouTubers made me buy. Yeah, these are some really hyped up products from a long time ago and from recently, so there's a mixture of both. It was actually so much fun going through my makeup stash and like pulling out some old things I haven't used in such a long time. So I did also do a little bit of a different look. I pushed myself and I used falsies. I did like a cool tone eyeshadow look, and please also excuse my voice and nasaliness in this video. I have been sick and I'm a little bit loopy and all over the place, so hopefully this video turns out great anyway. But yeah, if you want to see how I created this look, then keep on watching. So the first product is the Elizabeth Arden 8-Hour Cream. I feel like this was very hyped like a few years ago, maybe now, thanks to Gabriella from Velvet Ghost. She put me onto this because her lips always just look beautiful and luscious and hydrated, and that's exactly what I want for my lips. But I must say I'm a tad bit disappointed because this is definitely one of those creams that you put on and it feels all nice and, you know, great, but as soon as it comes off your lips, they're just back to being, you know, dehydrated. So, but I feel like this is great to have in your kit if you're a makeup artist because you can do so much with this. So that's why I always just use it on my finger and not on my lips directly. I'm going to start with the Balm's Put a Lid on It. This is also quite an old product. I remember this is in one of Tati's top primer videos, which is 4 years old. So, and I'm just gonna apply a little amount to both of my eyes to prime them. I do like this one. I feel like it gives a nice beautiful base to the eyes. When looking through my makeup collection to pick which eyeshadows to use for this one, I just immediately when I saw both of these, I was like, yep, these are the ones. I mean, the Naked palettes. Who didn't get sucked into buying the beautiful Naked palettes thanks to YouTube? I know I did. I got the Naked 2, which is looking back on it now, looking at all the Naked palettes, this is probably the one that I would pick last because just of the colors, nothing else. I feel like the Naked 2 is kind of cold, kind of mauvey, taupey, you know, kind of all of those colors, and I'm more into the warmness of things. And then I have the Morphe palettes here. I mean, when these came out, I feel like they were just everything. And I definitely got sucked into it just because of YouTube, and I had to buy one. It's not like I regret it because I feel like there is some great shades in here as well. I feel like, but they're all palettes. I feel like there's some colors that are great and super pigmented, and then there's some that just feel so dry and chalky, and you're like, is this even made in the same factory? And first of all, I'm gonna actually start by using these, well, one of these. Don't you guys remember the color tattoos from Maybelline? They were so hyped, especially this one, On and On Bronze, or Bad to the Bronze, I think is its other name. I'm gonna just start by applying this all over my lid as a second base. We have 2 bases now. I get the hype, but I could definitely live without this. The whole cream thing is maybe not really my forte. So that's On and On Bronze all over the lids, and now I think we're gonna dive into the Morphe palettes. I have definitely dropped this so many times that I don't even think the shades are in the right place anymore, but you know, you can just feel me. I'm gonna take a light I'm now going to move on to a little deeper shade of brown right here. Get some more definition in the crease. Maybe get a little bit of a smaller brush. And then going back with the first color we used to make sure there's no harsh lines. I'm keeping the lid quite bare and then focusing on the inner and the outer corner and also in the crease. And then I'm just gonna pick up this really dark brown, just going down with all the browns in this palette and focusing that on the inner and outer corners, deepening them up. And now moving on to the Naked palette, I'm actually gonna take the first shade called Foxy underneath my brow bones. This is one of my favorite from the palettes. I love that I'm doing like a dark, cold, brown smoky eye, which is like not what I normally go for, but you know, this is the fun thing with using things that you don't normally use, going back to your stash and looking at your old things. You know, you have to like push yourself a little bit to not always do just the same things. Now that we have the crease and the inner corners quite dark, I'm gonna go with Verb right here and apply that all over the lid. And I'm just gonna go back to the darkest shade we used in the Morphe palette and put that again in the inner corner in the crease, because you know the light shade kind of blended that darkness away. And that's it for now. I think it's time to move on to actually doing the face so we can come back to the eyes. And I'm gonna start with the NYX Angel Veil primer. This is definitely thanks to Kathleen. I was like, I just want a nice primer that smooths out my skin, and she was loving this, so I tried it, and it's called a skin perfecting primer. I can't really see that much skin perfecting going on. It's just a little bit of a smoothing primer. So, and now for foundation, I'm going to use the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Long Wear Liquid Foundation. This was so hyped. Kathleen hyped about it, everyone hyped about it. I have the shade 1.5. So that's the only issue I have with this. I should have gotten the lightest shade, because this one looks light. Trust me, you put it on and you're like, oh my god, this matches my face perfectly. And then it freaking oxidizes. And not just a tad bit, this completely changes color. So I'm just gonna apply some at the back of my hand, and to blend it out, I'm gonna use the Beautyblender. Is there anyone who watches a lot of YouTube videos that, you know, wasn't sucked into buying these? I actually really enjoy it. I have nothing against it, but I feel like still, if I had to choose between the Real Techniques one and this one, I would just go with the Real Techniques one. I'm gonna start putting some foundation on my face and blending it out. So yeah, I feel like the coverage of this is super great, but it is very matte and it is clinging on to dry spots on my face. For concealers, I have the Urban Decay Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer, as well as the Liquid Camouflage from Catrice. I love this one. It's the greatest inexpensive concealer out there, in my opinion. I'm just gonna use a little bit of both to lighten up my under eyes. And to set all that concealer in place, I have the original RCMA No Color Powder. This was everywhere. This was the shiz. This is the shiz. I still love this one. I use it every single day. I set everything with this, and I think it works great. So I'm just patting that in, setting my concealer. The actual foundation itself, I don't think it needs to be set that much. I have quite dry skin now when it's winter time, so I'm gonna take a large fluffy brush for this and just like go lightly on top. Yeah, this doesn't need to be set. Moving on to the face, I have the NYC Smooth Skin Bronzing Face Powder. This is throwback. I don't even remember when I started watching the YouTube. That's the saddest part. But I know it's like 6 years ago, 7 years ago, and everybody was talking about this. This was the thing. And I got it a few years later and I still have it. I love this one. It's smooth, it's good, it's not too dark. It's definitely worth the price. I'm just gonna apply that in the hollows of my cheek. If you guys also have a product that is like so old but you're still loving it, please let me know, because you know, I want to know that I'm not the only one that has like a bronzer that is like 6 years old. No, it's maybe like 4. Let's not be ridiculous. It's old. And then for blush, I have the Satin Touch Blush from Satin Touch Blush. No, Satin Touch Blush. Yeah, from Essence. This is also one of Kathleen's recommendations to everybody, and I love it. I love it. I think I even bought it before. She said she loved it, and I was like, yes, yes. And now I feel like it's quite hyped. So I'm gonna get this on a large stipple brush and get that on my little cheeky cheeks. And now for highlight, I mean the Mary Lou Luminizer. This was the shizness, and I still love it. I use it all the time, and I actually think it's so funny because I started using it here, and I just always put my brush in there. So this part of the highlight has never been touched, ever. This is such a beautiful, beautiful highlighter. Get that glow. Yes, Mary Lou. Can you tell? It's a gorgeous highlighter. And I always apply some to my Cupid's bow. I'm gonna move on to brows. I still have this. I don't know if anybody watched my, what was it? Was it my birthday? Get Ready With Me? I used this one. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Pomade in Blonde. And yeah, as I said in that video, I crushed the original packaging. So I put it in one of these airtight containers, and it has lasted for a long time. But I feel like now it's definitely starting to dry up. It's drying up. But I feel like everybody has like kind of moved on from the Anastasia pomade, and everybody's like now onto the pencils. Is it just me, or is that like, do you feel the same? It's time to move on to the eyes and finish them off. I'm gonna take an angled brush, and I'm gonna take the black color, which is called Blackout, from the Urban Decay. I'm gonna lightly like scope out where I want my liner to be. And now I have the Maybelline, what is this called? Eye Studio Lasting Drama Gel Eyeliner. 24 hours. I feel like this was also all over the place. Everybody had this. And yeah, this is just a gel eyeliner. I'm gonna pick it up on a brush and hopefully do somewhat of a nice line. I feel like this is a little bit of an excessive lineage going on, and they're not that straight and beautiful, but when we apply falsies, no one will know. Aren't they just the solution to everything? Falsies? Do tell me, do tell me. That is the falsies done. I used the Demi Wispies from Arden, also very hyped. YouTube made me buy them, like everything else in this video. And as the same goes with the Duo adhesive. So these are like trusty things that I've used many times. I use them on my clients sometimes, but I don't know, when it comes to my own face, this is a little bit excessive. This is a little bit much. This is the Paradise Ecstatic. This is from the L'Oreal Paradise mascara thingy. This is also hyped by Tati and a million other people, but I don't know. The thing is, when I first started using this one, I really liked it. It gave a lot of volume. It's quite like, it's just dramatic. Gives you beautiful lashes, but it dries out so quickly. And every time I use it, a gazillion little black dots just fall over my face, and yeah, I'm now gonna finish off the eyes because they're looking a little top heavy to say the least. So I'm just gonna use the first crease shade that we used from the Morphe palette, the light brown one, and I'm just gonna run that low on the lash line. It can just come quite far down, it doesn't matter because it's quite light. And I'm now gonna go in with the little darker brown and focus that a little bit more on the outer parts of my eye, but still getting it quite far in. I'm going to take the darkest shade and just run that really close to the lash line. I'm just going to finish off the eyes with a layer of mascara on my bottom lashes as well. I like never put mascara on my bottom lashes. Oops, as you can tell. And this is pretty much the eyes done. I'm gonna take Booty Call from the Naked palette and put that in the inner corners, just to highlight it a little bit. And last but certainly not least, we have the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in Echo Park. I feel like just ColourPop in general is quite hyped, and for a good reason. I'm loving their products, and the Ultra Satin Lip is just great, and it's very hyped for a reason, so. And that's it for my video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, going through some old but some good stuff that people have been hyping for a very long time. I felt like so nostalgic to go back on memory lane and remember all these products, and also a lot of new products as well. It's not just old products. I hope you guys enjoyed this look, and please let me know some products down below that YouTube made you buy. That would be so fun to read, because I feel like we all have those products that we just got hyped into buying, and I will see you in my next video.